So in this video, we're going to replace the whole wiring harness along with the switch box and the breaker box all in one. You can buy this kit from Escalera. So the reason you would do that, your wires do get old. You know, they get brittle. It's part of how things are. Also, sometimes there's shorts in them, so your wires will burn. You see they start turning black, and sometimes they'll actually be burned up really bad and bubbled, so you have to replace them. Sometimes they'll just be that you've had to replace the coupler here a couple times, so you've cut the wire back, you run out of wire, and you basically need to replace it. So what we do at this point in time, we'll remove this whole thing. See, you have these little wire keepers right here, and they come in the pack as well. So basically we unscrew those, or you can just pop them off. They pop off real easy. Go up here, basically grab a hold of it, pop them off. Pull your wiring through the holes right here, pop them off. Just like that. So I go all the way down doing this, and I'll get all that done. I'll get that switch off of there, and we'll get down to the bottom, and I'll be back with you. So one of the things you'll notice here, this is the back of the box. Since we're replacing that box, we have two rivets right here that we have to break free. So what I've been doing is I take a flathead screwdriver, and I go back behind this panel right there, and I use a hammer, and I just hammer down until I break that rivet. They give us two more screws like this one that we'll put in. But the difference with putting those in like this, instead of putting them in this direction, we want to turn those around so this head is on the inside. Otherwise, the screw with a nut will be on the other side, and they'll be hitting those screws on that switch on the other side. So in order to not do that, we want to flip those screws around on the inside on this one and this one. So I'll show you when we get to that. But yeah, just a hammer and a screwdriver and pound straight down till you break those rivets. That's how we're doing it. So there you go. You see the two rivets are gone now. It's pretty simple. It doesn't bend the frame in any way when you use a screwdriver and a hammer. So it comes out pretty clean. So now you can see here's my wiring harness. Now it drops down. It goes behind this. There's a hole right here, and that actually gets wired into the motor on the inside. Now, if you're not actually replacing the motor, you could just cut this wire right here and then get a butt connector and bring the new one down, put the butt connector on and tuck the butt connector into that groove, just like that, and then put this rubber piece back over it and it'll be done. But since I'm going to do another video on replacing the motor, I am going to actually cut that wire off right there and then run my new one right through that hole so I can attach it to the new motor. So in this pack that comes with the wiring harness, you can see you have all your wire keepers here. They also give you a butt connector here, so you'll need those. But first of all, we're going to reset all these in before we hook our switch up. So now you can see that I've got the new switch on. You can see at the back, I've got the nuts on the outside. See, these were sticking inside too far and coming in contact with those screws right there. So with these, especially this one, you can see how close this screw is to this plate. And if you put that nut on there, well, it's right up against that screw. So that's why I say reverse those, put them inside out. Put the screw in the inside and the nut on the outside, and then tighten them down. Before you close up your box, make sure that none of your screws are in the way of hitting that box right there. If they are, make sure that you tighten this top nut right here. Hold this away from the wall and then tighten that out at the same time. Then you can put the box back on, or the cover. Now the wiring, here's my wiring here. So you see I've got the new wire keepers on right here. So basically I just slip those in and then push that plug through the hole on the other side right here. And then I tuck these wires back in here behind this rubber piece so they're not in your way. And then you just continue all the way down the line until you have all those in. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so now you can see the wiring. It's all the way tucked in behind the rubber, and all of the wires are held in place. So the next thing we want to do is come down. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to install the breaker switch in the same spot where it was previously at, right here. If you aren't replacing the motor, they do send one of these butt connectors in the switch wiring, and I would basically connect those two right here and then tuck that whole thing right into that groove right there, and then put the rubber back over it and you wouldn't see it. But in this case, if you want to see me do that, you'll have to see my motor replacement, which I'm going to do in this, which you'll see a video of shortly. Thanks.